Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Yapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva bandhusya sakha tvameva Tvameva vedya dravinam Tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So where are we in our text?
We're in chapter 18, number 31.
Chapter 18, number 31.
Should I start?
Please.
Adhyatum cheshtitum vapi yachittam na pravartate nirmimittam idam kintu nirdhyayati vicheshchate. The mind of the liberated one does not engage itself either in meditation or in activity. It becomes meditative and active without any motive spontaneously.
Yes. So again, going back to how I like to phrase it, the mind of the person of steady wisdom is out of control. They just act spontaneously. There's no right way to be. There's no wrong way to be. What's gone is any sense that I need to do practices so I can realize more self. You either see who you are or you don't. And did we take a look at that book, The Spiritual Teachings of Ramana Maharshi last week? Was it in this class?
I returned the book in this class. I don't know.
I think if you go look here, let's see, come with me. We'll get there because I would like to read that section. Right. Turn to page 34. So this is, I think, an incredibly important teaching. It certainly was very helpful to me. So the reference here is to the Sapta Jnana Bhumikas, the 7 stages of knowledge that we find in Yoga Vasishtha, for those of us who've studied it. Do you see the question? Which of these stages of knowledge does the Jnani belong?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is questions and answers with Bhagavan, Ramana Maharshi.
Should I start from the first question?
Sure.
So, question 1: what is the state of attainment of knowledge? It is firm and effortless abidance in the self, in which the mind, which has become one with the self, does not subsequently emerge again at any time. That is, just as everyone usually and naturally has the idea, I am not a goat or a cow or any other animal but a man, when he thinks of his body, so also when he has the idea, I am not the principles, tattvas, beginning with the body and ending with the sound, nada, but the self, which is existence, consciousness, and bliss, the innate self consciousness, Atma Pragnya, he is said to have attained firm knowledge.
Yes. So let's stop there. Any questions? That is what jnanam is. And you hear me say over and over again, when are you ever not you? All right, going on, please.
Second question: to which of the 7 stages of knowledge, jnana bhumikas, does the sage jnani belong? Answer: he belongs to the fourth stage. Next question: if that is so, why have 3 more stages superior to it been distinguished?
So let's stop there. In the 7 stages of knowledge, the fourth one says it's the realization of the self. Then the 3 more have to do with less and less perception of the world, and just everything is like a dream, and then the constant experience of bliss, etc. So these are other states. Let's see how Bhagawan responds to this. Going on.
The marks of the stages 4 to 7 are based upon the experiences of the realized person, Jivan Mukta. They are not states of knowledge and release. So far as knowledge and release are concerned, no distinction whatever is made in these 4 stages.
So if someone has very shallow self-absorption, but knows who they are, or they're like Ramana Maharshi, who's deep in the self, they don't know more self. That's an important thing to know. Well, I want what he has. Now let's see what Bhagawan says. Going on, please.
Fourth question: as liberation is common to all, why is the Varishta, which means the most excellent, alone praised excessively? Answer: so far as the Varishta's common experience of bliss is concerned, he is extolled only because of the special merit acquired by him in his previous births, which is the cause of it.
So the cause of having that deep absorption is your prarabdha karma. It's punya experienced in other lives. So again, going back to my early sadhana when I was in the ashram. So there was Swami Chinmayananda. Then some people were going down the street to the Baba Muktananda ashram. Oh, well, Chinmaya's realized, but Muktananda's fully realized. Then this great Sufi master, Guru Bawa, came to town. Powerful, powerful guru. Well, Chinmaya may be realized and Muktananda may be fully realized, but Bawa is completely fully realized. None of them knew any more self. You either know you are Chidakash or you don't. If you think you're a person, you're a fool. If you know you are Brahman, you're a jnani. But obviously, various saints revel in the self with different depth, and the same Mahatma at different times. They may at times be an ordinary transactional mind, other times deep in samadhi. Now, this next part is incredibly important. Going on, please.
One thought. So the merit acquired in previous births could also mean the sadhana that they have done in this current life.
Absolutely.
Next question. As there is no one who does not desire to experience constant bliss, what is the reason why all sages, jnanis, do not attain the state of varishta? Answer. It is not to be attained by mere desire or effort. Karma, prarabdha, is its cause. As the ego dies along with its cause, even in the fourth stage, bhumika, what agent is there beyond that stage to desire anything or to make efforts?
Yes. So the mark of the person of steady wisdom is they're at peace. Their striving has ceased. They're at rest. If you're jonesing for ecstatic samadhis, who is it who wants it? And that's why so many of the scriptures who are very advanced will say, renounce the bliss of samadhi. Again, you can't renounce something you haven't got. But how deep your samadhi is, how constant your abidance in the self is, that's a karmic situation. Don't strive to get high unless you enjoy the striving.
Effortless striving.
And you may or may not get results from it. Do you practice your guitar?
Yeah, I do.
Do you play as well as Jimi Hendrix?
No,
Will you ever play as well as Jimi Hendrix?
I don't know.
Probably not. Very few people have ever played as well as Jimi Hendrix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Proud of it. Going on in the spiritual teachings of Ramana Maharishi book.
So continuing the same,
Right where you left off.
so long as they make efforts, they will not be sages, jnanis. Do the sacred texts, Shrutis, which specially mention the Varishta, say that the other three are unenlightened persons? That's the end of the response. And then the next question. As some sacred texts say that the supreme state is that in which the sense organs and the
Okay, that's going on to a whole different topic. But this one section is incredibly important. Again, the purpose of Ashtavakra Gita is to remove the mumukshu. Who is it who's striving? Let it go. Now, opposite idea, the sadak, the seeker, is seen to be doing spiritual practices so he may purify his mind and realize the self. The sadhu, the siddha, the accomplished one, may also be seen to be doing spiritual practices. It does not add to their knowledge of the self. But for them, it's the highest form of worldly pleasure. Now, how you choose to revel in the self, that's up to you. It may be singing the Lord's praises. It may be reveling in the halls of Vedanta, as Swamiji used to call it. It's certainly what I enjoy doing. It may be just being in the silence of nature. Swami Tapovanam wandering in the Himalayas. You'll find your own way to revel in the self.
Could be the busy mind of Janaka.
Pardon me?
It also could be a busy mind of Janaka.
Yes, yes, exactly. He had 100 wives he had to take care
That's a lot of work.
of. Yes.
Heard enough with one.
Very important points. And of course, many of us will say, you mean this is all there is?
This is all we get.
What do you get by studying years of Vedanta? Nothing. Literally, nothing. That's why we don't charge, because there's nothing. But oh, what a nothing. Oh, what a nothing. Now, also, and Bhagawan does not address this, I can only share with you my observations of Chinmaya. When I first met him in 1975, I guess he was, let's see, he was born in 1917. So how old would he have been?
You said,
50 something?
you said 74?
I met him in 75
And
and he was born in 1917. So
Yeah.
how old was he?
like 58, 57.
So he was a pretty vital, dynamic guy with a lot of personality, very entertaining. Madhur Shakti. But as he got older, his personality just kept thinning away. And the last couple years of his life, he was diaphanous. He was just transparent. There was almost nothing left. It's very interesting. All right, back to our scripture. Any questions about this topic? I think it's a very important one. Going on.
Tattvam yatharthamakandya manda prapnoti mudhatam athava yati sankocha amudha kopi mudhavat. An unintelligent person becomes confused on hearing the real truth, but some intelligent man withdraws within and lives like a fool.
Yes. So the person of steady wisdoms seems foolish to the world. What's your business plan for not life? I don't have one. What are your life goals? Don't have any. Aren't you at all interested in getting such and such and a so and so? Your relative died. Aren't you just destroyed by it? No. What are you? You sociopath? I don't know. She is in the world, but not of it. And only another person of knowledge gets it. Going on.
एकाग्रता निरोधो वा मूढैरम्भस्य ते भृशम् धीरा कृत्यं न पश्यन्ति सुप्तवत् स्वपदे स्थिताः. The fools constantly practice concentration and control of the mind. The wise, abiding in their own self, like persons in deep sleep, do not find anything to be attained.
Yeah. So again, it depends on what level of our sadhana we're in. For the beginner and the intermediate and the comparatively advanced. Jnana Abhyasa, practice your knowledge, discriminate, detach, detach, detach. Tune up the mind, tune up the mind, tune up. Now we start letting go of all efforts. Well, what about these subtle practices? Tuning up. Should I give up tuning up? You can. Yourself doesn't disappear when you're not tuned up. Once you clearly see who you are, it's myself. What are you ever not you? And once you clearly see what you are not, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I'm not the intellect, and most definitely, I'm not a person. And you may go through a stage where these little dust devils of ego arise. I see you, Joe. But after a while, even those stop. And maybe they won't. You make them a cup of tea in the morning. And don't believe. At this point, the injunction is don't try to be spiritual. Don't try to be a Mahatma. Don't try to be a saint. Know you are Brahman, and all mind states, all of them, are illusion. Give up your concern. Next one.
प्रयत्नात् प्रयत्नात् द्वा मूढो नाप्नोति निर्वृतिम् तत्त्वनिश्चयमात्रेण प्राज्ञो भवति निर्वृतः. The fool does not attain tranquility either by action or by inaction. The wise one becomes tranquil merely by knowing the truth.
Yes. So as long as you're holding on to the yogi, holding on to the mumukshu, oh, my mind is. Oh, I was really quiet all day, but oh, then I had a thought. But for the one who really knows. The mind is no longer a problem. The mind isn't real. The mind itself profoundly knows its own unreality. I cannot think a real thought, including the one I just thought. Sarvamaya, Sarvamananda. It's all Maya. It's all me. Next one.
Shuddham buddham priyam purnam nishprapancham niramayam atmanam tam na jananti tatrabhyasa parajanaha. In this world, those who devote themselves to diverse practices do not know the self which is pure, enlightened, beloved, perfect, transcendental, and stainless.
Yes. So again, the purpose of the text is to remove the abhyasi, the one who insists on doing practices, the one who, as the Zen story says, is mirror wiping. Again, this is not a teaching for beginner or intermediate students. This presupposes a person has a firm, direct experience. They know what their essential nature is, but they're still that yogi hanging on. Next one.
Napnoti karmana moksham vimudhobhyasa dhanyo vijnana matrena mukti tishthastya vikriyah. A highly unintelligent person never attains the self through the repeated practices of controlling his mind. The Blessed One, though, merely intuitive enlightenment, mere through mere intuitive enlightenment, remains liberated and immutable.
Yeah. So for the A++ students, merely hearing the truth is enough. Those of us on Thursday are studying Yoga Vasishta. We just had the story of Uddalaka. I guess he shows up in the Puranas and I think in one of the Upanishads. And he says, was a Brahmin of meager intellect who does all the stuff you and I have had to do. Control of the mind, sadhana. He even had to do pranayama, control of the breath. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. But in the end, the mark of the person of steady wisdom. One, they have existential freedom. I know I am Brahman. I am birthless, changeless, deathless, always the same. Never the body, never a person, not dependent on a mind state. It's knowledge. I'm no longer concerned about stupid mind states. Two, I know where happiness is. Happiness is the mind freed from the tyranny of craving. So simple. So simple. My favorite verse from Gita. When a person casts off all the desires of the mind, O Partha, and is satisfied in the self by the self, and they're said to be a person of steady wisdom. It's so simple, man. If you want to acquire siddhis, knock yourself out. If you want to accomplish things in the world, knock yourself out. Nobody cares. Any thoughts? Next one.
मूढो नाप्नोति तद्ब्रह्म यतो भवितुमिच्छति अनिच्छनपि धीरो हि परं ब्रह्म स्वरूपभाक्. The fool does not attain Brahman, for he desires to become it. The wise one certainly realizes the nature of the Supreme Brahman, even without desiring to do so.
What are you doing, Jim? Oh, I'm doing jumping jacks and I'm surrounding the house with mirrors. Why are you doing that? I want to become a human body. Jim, you already are a human body. Shut up. I have been told that this is a way to acquire a human body. Don't bother me. I'm doing jumping jacks and looking in the mirror to see when my form becomes a human body. It already is. Stop it. That's the one who holds on to the mumukshu. You can't become Brahman. You already are it. And remember, what is the means of knowledge for knowing Brahman? Brahman is the means of knowledge for knowing Brahman. How do you know you are you? You do not see, hear, taste, smell, touch, emote, or think yourself. Yet you do not doubt that you are. How do you know you are you? I don't know, I just do. That's right. And the great cosmic joke, everybody already knows that. If it were something that was special, then it wouldn't be the self at all. What's the difference between the jnani and the fool? The fool has all these stupid ideas, and he's not Brahman. That's the only thing that needs to change. And once the intellect gets it, oh, I get it. It's myself. Now drop even that idea. Jim, why are you walking around with a mirror, looking into the mirror? I'm afraid my face is going to fall off if I put the mirror down. No, the face isn't going to fall off. Oh, I had an experience of the self, but I lost it. No, you didn't. who thinks they lost it. I do. That's yourself. Oh, but I got so triggered today, Jim, and I screamed and yelled at so-and-so. I was such a terrible yogi. And did you forget that you were you? Oh, no, I was just a terrible person. Did you cease to exist? No. Did you know your unhappy triggered mind? Yes. Sat, Chit, there it was. Oh, you just have a stupid mind. That's easily rectified. Really is. Although I was talking with a fellow who's very identified with his self-pity. It's amazing how we can be attached to misery. He knows better, but he does not want to practice Viveka Vairagyacha. Instead, he's going to take antidepressants. See if that works. My suspicion is 6 weeks from now, he's going to say, this has reduced the range of my emotional content, which it can do. I'm not against antidepressants. Some people really do have broken brains. But if you think that it is the solution to a habituated mind, we have to do the work. Next word.
Niradhara grahavyagraha मूढ़ा संसार पोषकाः एतस्यानर्थमूलस्य मूलच्छेदकृतो बुधैः. Without any support and eager for the attainment of freedom, the fools only keep up the world. The wise cut at the very root of this world, which is the source of all misery.
Yeah. So, what makes the world go round? Kama. It drives everyone everywhere into action. Desire. Even spiritual desire. Not a bad thing. It's just painful. But the wise one has cut at the root. The Buddha, his first noble truth, life, the way most people live it, is suffering. Dukkha satya, the truth of suffering. What is the cause of suffering? It is attachment, sangraha. It is craving, kama, thirsting, samudaya, satya, the truth of the arising suffering. When I see what causes it, I strike at its root, which is ignorance ultimately, and then rest. Next one.
न शान्ति लभते मूढो यत् शमति यत् शमितुम् इच्छति धीरस्तत्त्वं विनिश्चित्य सर्वदा शान्तमानसः. Since the fool wants to get peace through control of his mind, he does not gain it. The wise one, knowing for certain the truth, is ever tranquil in mind.
Yes. So if I try to bash various thought forms, control the mind, peace never comes, at least not permanently. But for the person of steady wisdom, when I see the fundamental unreality of the mind itself, and I quit doing battle with something that's non-existent. Next one.
क्वात्मनो दर्शनं तस्य यदृष्टम् अवलम्बते धीरास्तं तं न पश्यन्ति पश्यन्त्यात्मानमव्ययम्. Where is the vision of the self to one who resorts to seeing the manifested world? The wise do not see this and that, but see only the immutable self.
Yes. So it is my attachment not only to Jiva Bhavana, but to the reality of the Vishaya, the objects perceived through the senses. When I take them as real, separate from me, inherently pleasure giving and misery producing, there is no peace. For the jnani, it's like going to the movies. All just the divine Leela. Going on.
Ko nirodho vimudhasya yo nirbandham karoti vai swaram yasyaiva dhirasya sarvada sava kritrimaha. Where is the control of the mind for the fool who strives for it? To the wise one who delights in the self, it is indeed spontaneous and perennial.
Yes. So if I try to, with willpower, control my thoughts, peace never comes. Now listen carefully. In the early stages of our sadhana, thought replacement, control of the mind is a value. If you've got habituated negative thinking, just to say, it doesn't matter, it's not real anyway, and you keep going down that rabbit hole, I'm miserable, but it's not real. I might as well, shoot heroin because it doesn't matter, it's not real. That's just rationalizing your suffering. So in the beginning, two paths approach a person, Shreyas and Preyas. Remember in Kathopanishad, the electable and the delectable. We need to train the mind in the beginning. We need to attain to Yoga Rudha, mount the steed of the passions, so we're no longer tyrannized by raga and dvesha. We need to have chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. Then the nature of the self is very clear. We need to see the fundamental unreality of the phenomenal world. Shama, that peaceful state of mind when it rests in steady contemplation of the goal after having again and again detached itself from the chaos of the sense objects through a steady contemplation of their defects. We practice that. That doesn't mean chocolate's morally wrong. It's to see the world for what it is over and over and over again. now let go of that too. Work and work and work to come to the place where working ceases. It's a paradox. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
Bhavasya bhavaka kaschin na kinchit bhavako parah ubhaya bhavaka kaschit evameva nirakulah. Some think that existence is, and others that nothing is. Rare is the one who thinks neither. He is perfectly serene, free from all distractions.
So the Vedanta argues the self is Brahma Satyam. The Buddhists say no. Ultimate reality is shunyata, void. With the person of steady wisdom, blah, blah, blah. No concern. All of the philosophies only point. They never define. Next one.
Shuddham advayam atmanam bhavayante kubuddhayah natu jananti sammoha padhya vajjiva nirvritaha. Those of dull intellect meditate upon the Atman as pure and one without a second, but they do not realize it. Through delusion, they remain unhappy as long as they live.
Yes. So I love what Shankara says. We can't say that Maya is. Is ignorance something you can quantify? Does so-and-so have 10 quarts of ignorance? Oh, someone else is better off. They only have 5 quarts of ignorance. We can't say that it is. It's any real thing. But we can't say that it isn't. So-and-so is ignorant. But what we can say is that it's very powerful. And as long as we do not see a vast empty space of pure awareness as my very being, the unreality of all name and form, people can do sadhana for decades and still not see it. Other people with very little dust on their eyes, as the Buddha said, come to see clearly rather quickly. And again, that's the result of merit, many, many lifetimes. Going on.
Mumukshor buddhiralamba antarena na vidyate niralam bhaiva nishkama buddhirmuktasya sarvada. The intellect of one who aspires for liberation cannot function without a supporting object. but the desireless intellect of the liberated one, indeed, ever without any support in meditation.
Yes. So for the seeker, they need an object of meditation. In the beginning, it may be the breath, it may be a body scan, it may be a mantra, it may be your form of the infinite. More subtly, it may be practicing discrimination between the self and the not self. But for the sthita prajna, the person of steady wisdom, there is no form that is necessary. Now, push back. I can remember seeing Swamiji at times with his mala. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. He was doing meditation with a form. So what? Again, no rules for the jnani. If your rule is I can't meditate with a form, that's a stupid idea. There's no need of a form. But if you've been chanting a mantra for 50 years, 60 years, then turn off. I'll tell you that. Going on.
Vishaya Dvipan no Vikshya Chakita Sharanarthinah Vishanti Jhatiti Krodam Nirodhaikagra Yat Siddhyai. Encountering the tigers of sense objects, the frightened ones seeking refuge at once enter the cave of the mind for the attainment of control and concentration.
Yes. So in the beginning, yes, we practice control of the mind. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati. But once you've got mastery over sense control, we give up the practice. Only you can work this out for yourself. If you give up control, if you give up being a tapaswin, like Janaka danced with the senses, but you'll know if you're fooling yourself. How will you know?
You suffer in the world.
Louder?
You suffer in the world.
Yeah. No blame. Now you know what to do. Snip, snip. Little personal sadhana. All good. Next one.
Nirvasanam harim drishtva tushnim vishayadantinah palayante na shaktaste sevante krita chatavah. Encountering the desireless man-lion, the elephants of sense objects quietly run away, or if unable to run away, serve him like flattering courtiers.
Yeah. So I watching Swamiji. I mean, he was such a sannyasi, such a renunciate. And rich people gave him stuff all the time. Somewhere along the line, somebody heard him get a Rolex watch, and he said, "Oh, that's a nice watch." Oh, Swamiji likes Rolex. People kept giving him Rolex watches. And you know what he did with them? Gave them away. Ah! People would give him beautiful silk, dhotis and kurtas. Why not wear silk? But he was just as comfortable in cotton. Going on.
न मुक्तिकारिकां धत्ते निशङ्को युक्तमानसः पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् आस्ते यथा सुखम्. He who is free from doubts and has his mind identified completely with the self never resorts to the practices of control as a means to liberation. Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and eating, he lives happily.
Yes. So again, he may or she may be seen to do practices, but it's because it's fun. They do not do it as a means to liberation. You either see who you are or you don't. And that's either enough for you or it's not. And if it's not, then you're like the fool who finds the chintamani in his field, but disregarding it, keeps digging and finds pieces of colored glass and is convinced they're precious jewels. It happens. Going on.
वस्तु श्रवणमात्रेण शुद्धबुद्धिनिराकुलः नैवाचारम् अनाचारम् औदास्यं वा प्रपश्यति. Having established in his pure intellect and having become serene by mere listening to the real, the wise one no more sees what is proper and improper action or even what is inaction.
Yeah. So as Krishna says in Gita, when the yogi's mind stands unmoved by what they have heard and what they haven't heard, when the mind has become like a sieve, everything just passes through. Blah, blah. All speech is just noise. Unless you decide to listen. Person of steady wisdom again is out of control. They live free, blown by the wind. Light, joyous, like a child. Prince William and Kate's daughter, Charlotte. How old is she? Alexa, how old is Princess Charlotte?
Princess Charlotte of Wales is 10 years old.
She's 10 years old. She's the richest woman in the world.
Wow.
Billions. If she knows, I doubt if she cares. She's 10. So is the mind of a person of steady wisdom. Going on.
यदा यत् कर्तृमायाति तदा तत्कुरुते ऋजौः शुभं व्याप्य शुभं वापि तस्य चेष्टा हि बालवत्. The wise one does freely whatever comes to his lot, whether good or evil. His actions are like those of a child.
Yes, he was listening to me. So that doesn't mean that he or she is evil-hearted. Good or evil are the actions that other people or thoughts that other people superimpose. What's good to one person is evil to another. The jnani is not immoral, they are amoral. They have no morals. They act spontaneously. But understand, when you see the self everywhere, why would you hurt or harm yourself? I cut my finger. I had a bagel in the refrigerator. Ever tried to cut a cold bagel?
Oh, yeah, that's dangerous.
It really is. The knife slipped.
Warm it up. Next time, warm it up first.
I've learned. I have learned. Bleeding, stuck pig, I actually had to put a Band-Aid on. I couldn't even know whether I had Band-Aids. But as an ego, pervade my body. I don't go, stupid finger, what did you do that for? Stop bleeding, you're bad. You don't do that when you hurt yourself, do you? No, you love your whole body. Every part of it. So the woman of steady wisdom, everybody is herself. It doesn't mean other people don't do hurtful things. But we understand where that comes from. We understand. Why? Because the woman of steady wisdom has explored her own mind in this journey. We are truly more alike than we are different. When you understand your own mind, then you understand everybody else's. It's that simple. And if you are judging someone else's mind, chances are it's a dimension of yourself that you haven't accepted yet. I'm like that too. Does that make sense?
I had the thought today about in the relative world, looking at politics and war and thinking, I had everything as a child. I had every possibility, education, blah, blah, blah. And look at how much I fucked up my life. Like, why would I expect other people to be different?
Oh, yeah.
And just because someone is in a position of power of authority doesn't mean I'm no different. No,
And
it's
they have come to the conclusion that somehow power and authority is going to make them happy.
yeah. Yeah. But it was just like, oh yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It's just different.
Yeah.
There's a student I had a while back, and he's married, and someone wanted to get married. And they asked him, is it better being married? He thought for a moment. He says, it's different. That's all. Another one of the Lord's forms. All right, next verse.
स्वातन्त्रयात् सुखम् आप्नोति स्वातन्त्र्या लभते परम् स्वातन्त्र्या निर्वृतिं गच्छेत् स्वातन्त्र्यात् paramam padam. Through freedom, one attains happiness. Through freedom, the highest. Through freedom, to repose, and through freedom, to the supreme state.
What does swatantra actually mean?
It means freedom, like self-determination and so on.
Yeah.
Swatantra.
So this is the freedom that allows us to move through the world. Sometimes I'll use the phrase the liberated personality, moving through the world. And I love what Krishna says, this knowledge gives us mastery of this world and the beyond. What does mastery of this world means? I move through the world easily as a blessing to people, not a burden. Simple stuff. All right, one more, then we'll quit.
Akartritvam abhokritvam swatmano manyate yada tada kshina bhavantyeva samasthaschittavastrityaha. All the modifications of the mind are indeed destroyed when a man realizes that the self in him is neither the doer nor the enjoyer.
Yeah. So the abandonment of the sense of agency. Two ways you can hold it. You can either take on the viewpoint, I do nothing. It is guna and karma that does all the action. Or you can take on the notion, I, the self, do everything everywhere. What doesn't work is I, Jen, do this action and not now. No longer any identification with a sense of agency. There's nobody there doing the doing. And it takes all the burden out of life. There's no more regret. Why should I regret the past? Because I didn't do any of it. Why should I be concerned about the future? There's nobody there to do it. Ishvara's in charge. What concern am I? Makes life light. All right, we'll quit here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om.